Yes, Happy New Year, everyone. Welcome back to the proper... Welcome back to the proper podcast, everyone. Thank you for joining us. And yes, I am privileged to say that we now have an undisputed king of heavyweight boxing, the king of this era, and it is the Ukrainian, the little middleweight, Usyk. I know he only won because of the war in Ukraine, but still, he did it. So fantastic stuff. And I'm very excited to talk about this today because apparently me and Kaya were on our last legs as of the past couple of weeks, getting them wrong. And about 5 rounds into the fight, when Fury started bossing it, I was getting a right fucking earful from you, John. Jesus Christ. I told you. I fucking told you. You don't listen.
Size matters.
Size matters.
It was more than 5 rounds. That was going on until about 7 rounds.
Oh,
I can't wait for this.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. You was right in my ear. Jesus Christ. Right? And then the 9th round, I've never seen someone go more quiet than you did. Fucking hell, you shut up then. You had a face like fucking, oh, mate, you just shocked you were. Anyway, let's get straight into it. I'm not interested in how you both are. Kaya, coming to you first, but actually, no. Actually, we'll go to you, Johnny B, first. Yeah, we've got a bit of explaining to do, bruv, because we felt a bit under pressure this week, but we come out with flying colours in the end. So how are you feeling, John?
Yeah, do you know what, right? First of all, unbelievable fight, right? I've just watched the fight again before we've come on, and I've scored it, right? But incredible fight. I didn't think I appreciate it as much being in the pub, obviously being pie-eyed, but it's an unbelievable fight. Both of those fighters, now, Fury turned up. He was excellent. So there's no way you can say anything about the way Fury fought. I thought he fought really well, right? Usyk, hands down, I said it before. I have him pound for pound above Terence Crawford and that. Hands down, he's pound for pound number 1. I thought he could do it against Anthony Joshua. Remember when he was going to fight Anthony Joshua?
Don't start on me. Look, don't do that. Don't do that.
And,
just have your say. Have your say.
No, I'm having my say. You can shut up. And who's going to win? Anthony Joshua or Usyk? Anthony Joshua. I said not in a million years. I had Usyk to beat Anthony Joshua twice, just for the record. But I just didn't think he could beat Fury. I thought Fury would use his length, his range. I thought he'd hit him on the way in. And I thought he'd just be too cute. I've got to admit though, right? When he was walking out Usyk in all that Ukrainian suit and that, I think I looked at you two, innit? I think you two see my face. I thought, fucking hell, man. He looks focused, man. And in the weigh-in, when Fury was looking the other way and he wouldn't look at Usyk, I've got to admit, I had a semi-little flip-flop going. I'm just thinking, I'm getting like the energy of Wilder and Fury. Remember when Wilder put on earphones and he didn't want to engage? And I think Errol Spence, he wouldn't look at Terence Crawford. So I was getting all of that energy there thinking, I don't like this. But look, got in. I'll just quickly go through how I just quickly scored the fight, right? I'll be quick, right? So first 2 rounds goes to Usyk. The second round was super close though, right? So by the way, before I say this, right, all the CompuBox stats back up each of my rounds. They all back it up, what I'm saying, right?
Sorry, go on.
I've got a long time, mate. Let me just quickly do this. So, first 2 rounds goes to Usyk, right? Second round, super close. I gave it to Usyk. Third round, really close. Could have been a 10-10. I've given it to Fury, right? The CompuBox back up that, right? The 4th round, Fury. 5th round, Fury. 6th round, Fury. 7th round, Fury,
what?
Right?
7th round, Fury?
Yeah, mate.
Oh, jog on,
yeah.
Mate. Go on, I'll let you finish.
Wait. In that, what I've wrote down is super close round. This is what I wrote for the 7th round, right? Actually, there was 1 round where the CompuBox didn't back my pick, and that was the 7th round, right? But they were super close on the CompuBox. It was like a couple of punches in it. But I just thought that the better punches and some of the power punches that were landed by Fury were a lot harder than Usyk, right? Whereas when you're like, there's a power punch landing from Usyk, it's not as equal as a power punch landing from Fury. That was my opinion. Super close, though. I gave it to Fury, right? Then, obviously, the 8th round is where it all changed, yeah? You know, buzzed Fury to his eye, busted up his nose, clean punches, was teeing off at him, finally was connecting with, like, Fury's head at will, right? 9th round, buzzed him all out over the place. Usyk won that. It was a 10-8 round, best round. And then, yeah, the 10th round, I had Usyk winning again, just outlanding him. Weren't a masterclass. His pace started to slow down. He wins that round. So I've got it going into the 11th round, right? I've got it 95 to 94 in favour of Usyk. And that is exactly what Manik's had it as well. So 95 to 94. We're going to talk about the corner in a minute. But because you know, Fury came out and he said, if I would have known I was down or whatnot, I might have done something different going into the last 2 rounds. Well, no, honestly, I say, you know me, I'll come in, I'll just say my truth how I scored it, right? He's 95 to 94 down, right? So when he walks out into the 11th round, Andy Lee says to him, he's the only one who says it, if you win these last 2 rounds, you win the fight. But really what they should have been saying, like, you have to win this round. You don't go out there and win that 11th round. Like, there should have been more urgency, because when he lost the 11th round, and he clearly loses it, just gets outlanded, it just gets moved around the ring, the pace slows down for the pair of them. But in the 11th round, he loses it. So he's a 95-94 going into that round. Once he loses it, it's now 105 to 103 in favour of Usyk. So now, even if Fury wins the next round, he can't win the fight. So there didn't seem the urgency on that 11th round when he went out. And then Usyk, he wins the 12th round as well. I had Usyk winning 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I scored it 115 to 112 in favour of Usyk. As you say, like the 7th round, if you want to give that to Usyk, you can maybe give that to Usyk and it changes it. But that's just how I scored it. The best man won on the night. We can get into it. Like when he had Fury knocked from pillar to post, what the fuck was the ref doing? I felt like the ref half jumped in at one point and grabbed Usyk's hand. He sort of even got in the way of Usyk. As Usyk he got in the way, and it's like Usyk's in his flow there. So I'm even here saying there's an argument to be had. If that ref leaves Usyk the fuck alone, Usyk finishes Fury. Like the ropes held him up, so fair enough, that's a standing 8 count or whatever. But he could have finished him there. I think the ref got way involved in that too much. The WBC judge that gave the fight to Fury, what the fuck was he doing? Like, there's something to be said about that. After Mauricio Solomon in the ring, or whispering to Fury in his fucking ear and that. I didn't like that WBC judge giving him that. There's no way on earth I could give the fight to Fury. 100% I give it to Usyk. I scored it 115 to 112. But I'll quickly say this. Unbelievable fight. I thought both fighters just showed us a lot. There was a lot from Fury in the beginning. Doing what I thought, catching him in like loads of body shots. How tough is Usyk as well? Rocked him to the head with that uppercut. Caught him with an overhand right a couple of times. But yeah, unbelievable. And Usyk, mate, the angles that he comes at, just the tempo that he sets, the angles coming down, those shots over the top. He made Fury work for every single second of every single round, like what he did to Bellew, like what he done to AJ. And the geezer is just unbelievable. Just honestly, pound for pound number one. Talking about the greatest heavyweights ever, mate, it's argument for him to be number one. Do you know what I mean? The way he fights now and the way, you know, the world moves on with nutrition and training, this, that, and the other, could say that he could probably do that to a lot of the heavyweights out there. So, yeah.
Right, yeah, I tell you what, the reason that there wasn't that sense of urgency, and Andy Lee's a good trainer and knows his stuff, he probably would have powered in that sort of sense of urgency, but he couldn't get over the fucking John Fury voice, could he?
No.
He couldn't, like, John was just, like, what are you doing, John? 3 voices, that's too much, man.
Yeah, certainly is.
Yeah. Kai, thoughts?
Do you know?
I don't know, go on. You got more to say?
The last thing I'll say, you know about the corner.
Let me do the fight. We'll do the corner in a minute. Yeah, let's just all have a little sound. What's happened in the fight? It's quite similar to yours, John. Actually, I thought you've been a bit more honest there than I thought you was going to be. I thought you was going to stand your ground a little bit more,
mate. I'm always honest when I come in, bro.
First 3 rounds were Usyk's, and when we looked at Richie Woodall's card card, Unk, in the pub. We just couldn't believe it. That geezer needs to get in the bin and sacked from the TV. And never. He gave the first 6 to Fury. Yeah, get in the bin.
Yes.
Get in the bin.
And he gave a 10-10 as well, didn't he? He gave a 10-10. I think it was in the 10th round or something, or one of the rounds when Usyk was clear, and he gave it a 10-10. And then the interview afterwards, Richie Woodall said Fury wins the rematch easy. It's like, what are you talking about?
Sorry, Richie. Sorry, mate. But so that's the first thing. Richie Woodall get in the bin. First 3 rounds were Usyk's. Now, they were close. There is an argument, the third round, as you say, John, there is an argument to swing it Fury's way. But if you look at, not really, the stats back up that Usyk's efficiency was better than Fury's. Just because Fury's throwing doesn't mean he's won the round. He actually landed more, but threw more, right? Total punches landed, but 37% of Usyk's shots landed, 32% of Fury's shots landed. So that's the stat for me. Is quite telling stat.
So hold on a minute. So hold on. So Fury throws more and lands more.
No, because it's the accuracy, isn't it?
No, yeah, but the accuracy.
Well, no, he's landed.
If he throws more and lands
punch
more,
efficient.
You score by punches landed. You don't,
right? And also,
so you don't score for a punch.
No, but you've got to let me have my say now. You spoke for 10 minutes. You've got to let me have my say.
Say stuff that's true because you're not saying.
Right, well, let me finish my point, and then you can come back at me. Right? I'm not finished. I'm not finished. You always jump in. So basically, what the CompuBox stats don't show you is ring aggression as well. The whole fight, Fury was going backwards. Tell me a moment other than rounds 4 to 6. Well, I give Fury all 3 of those rounds where Fury was pressing the action. Didn't happen. You watched the fight recently. So you got to score it with aggression as well. That's a scoreable criteria in a fight. So even though Fury threw more, landed more, I didn't like some of Fury's shots. I thought they were tippy-tappy shots. I thought Usyk's were delivered better. I thought in terms of pushing him back to the ropes, slipping shots and landing them. Fury was just like flicking jabs out, playing silly buggers in the corner, try to fool people into like he's in control here. Nothing really. He wasn't doing anything in the first 3 rounds. Nothing significant for me. First significant round for Fury was round 4. But look, I'll get your point, right? Round 3 is a bit of a swing round, but I just gave it to Usyk because I thought he did the better, cleaner work. But round 4, obviously Fury lands the uppercut. I think it was the uppercut to the stomach, the first shot, and then there was one followed to the head. I think that was in round 6. I ain't watched the fight again, but I think I remember what happened. But when he lands the one in round 6, it's like he didn't follow it up. Against Deontay Wilder, he was bullying him and pushing him back. He didn't do any of that in that fight, which is, I think he's going to come away from that Tyson Fury massively regretful because he had him a little bit hurt in the 6th round. I'd argue to say, I'd argue to
agree. He hit him a massive uppercut.
He didn't do anything. He just kind of backed off, thinking, "Well, I'm going to outbox this little middleweight," and that's the mistake. You can't. Nobody in the heavyweight division can outbox Oleksandr Usyk. So just forget it. The only way to beat him is by roughing him up and sticking it on him, and he had the chance to do that, and he didn't. So,
but he outboxed him from 4 to 7.
He didn't win round 7.
Yeah,
John.
but he couldn't.
He didn't win round 7.
He couldn't carry it on.
Round 7,
carry
you
it
said
on for the duration of the fight.
You gave to Thingy, right? So Usyk landed 13 shots to Fury's 12, 43%. Fury only landed 27%. Usyk lands 10 power shots to Fury's 9, 3 jabs each. How on earth did anyone give round 7 to Fury?
So right, can I explain that then? Yeah. So they throw the same amount of jabs, right? And they throw the same amount of jabs, but Fury throws one less power shot.
No, hold on. Fury threw 18 jabs in round 7.
How many? No. How many jabs landed by both of them? 3 each, right? And how many power shots?
10 to 9 to Usyk.
Right. So there's just one less power shot, right? So what I'm saying when I watched it, but I'm saying I might be wrong, but it's just the way I interpret it. When I literally have just watched it, I like the way that Fury was fighting. I felt the way he was controlling that 7th round. And when his power shots are landing, they are not the same as an Usyk power shot. There was more pop, there was more power to the shot, right? And I thought it was doing a bit more damage. I might be wrong. I'll have to watch it again. I watched it on.
Do you know what my opinion is? My opinion is Fury, as good as he is, and he's an incredible fighter, right? There's no denying that. Because he landed those shots, and you haven't seen really Usyk landed on like that. Not even AJ was able to land on him like that. It just, I think it's a little bit more aesthetic to everybody watching. Like, whoa, someone's hit Usyk. I think it just counted for more subconscious in people's subconscious mind. But really, when you look at it in the cold light of day, what did he really land? 4 or 5 big shots in the whole fight. In the whole fight,
well, he landed.
Did he even wobble him? Really?
Less power
did he wobble him?
Round.
I thought, if anything, AJ
fucking nearly took his head off.
He took it though, John, didn't he?
Smiled and walked forward. So he didn't take his head off.
He ain't
still a massive.
He ain't had enough credit for his chin.
Unbelievable. AJ hurt him more in that
that same shot knocked out Dillian White.
Yeah. Well, it was on the tip of Dillian White.
Let me finish, right? So, in my opinion, AJ hurt him more in that 9th round in the second fight. And I'm of the opinion that second AJ fight was actually closer than this fight. I didn't give Fury anything from round 7 to 12. And I've heard people giving... Eddie Hearn gave Fury round 12. There's people out there giving Fury round 12 based on what?
Yeah.
Look at the stats.
He had a decent round 11, but it could have been a swing round.
Yeah, round 11 was probably more of a swing round than round 12, but I didn't give him any of it because I just felt like Usyk was pressuring him. He was pushing him back to the ropes. And that is a scoreable criteria in boxing, right?
I thought I've got the 11th round I wrote down, clear as day, Usyk. He was just in a rhythm, the way he was moving around. I just felt like he was in no danger. He weren't breathing heavy, like the tempo. Everything was about Usyk 11. 12th round as well. I thought the 12th round was closer, but I gave that to Usyk as well. But let me just go back on the power shots, right? Because I wrote this down, which I think is important. In the 10th round, which I gave Usyk, lands a big uppercut, a couple of bombs, like body shots and that. I'll give it to Usyk, right? But when you look at the CompuBox stats, he's got easy Fury with 13 power shots. Like when you watch that round, like this is the thing with power shots, they're not equal. So a power shot to Usyk when he throws it to the body, like right, that's a power shot, we'll score that. But when Fury lands a power shot, if that one power shot lands, to me, it's much more powerful when the Usyk lands. And obviously, this is because of the size thing as well. So that's why with that 7th round, when I watched it, as I watched that round, I just looked and I thought, I think I'll give Usyk that Fury that round. But as I say, look, he won the fight, Usyk. But I said we're only arguing here. I
couple of swing rounds.
Fury on the 7th, and Fury over the 3rd. And I could make an argument for it, both of those fight rounds going to Usyk.
But I said 116, 112 in the preview. To me, I scored it 116, 111 with the knockdown. So that was my final scorecard.
A lot of people gave Fury the first 5 rounds.
It's fucking unbelievable.
Like, I can't. I'm just dumbfounded.
The first round,
dumbfounded.
Fucking not even debatable. That was as clear as day.
I was absolutely. So Richie Woodall done it. Gareth A. Davis done it.
Say, for example, the first round. To me, that is. I literally have just seen it. It's clear as day. He dominates the centre of the ring. He sets an unbelievable pace, Usyk. His intention is, I've got to wear this guy down because I'm going to take him late. He works the body. He tees off of him. He catches him. It's like a 1-2 over his straight punches. He connects him, rocks his head back, and he hits him with a massive left, like a swinging haymaker. He hits him with a massive left towards the end of the round on the first round. How the fuck can you give that to Fury? But yeah, if these people are commentating, everyone's paying their pay-per-view money. It's like, as you say, should they be
Frank Warren's doing it. He was on TalkSport.
I mean,
today.
We have this so often. This happens so often, doesn't it? I mean, there must be a monumental difference between watching it on TV and being there live. You wouldn't have thought there was much of a difference, but so often commentators are going, "Oh, this looks good. This looks good," and I can't believe they're all biased because they can't be. But yeah, it's just we're watching something and we're like, "Hey, what are you saying? How can you even say that?" That was like clear as day. The other guy, it's just happened so often, but. I've been thinking about it, and Fury bossed it from, like say, 4 to 7. He was absolutely killing it. And in the pub, John, I say, you were in my ear.
Every time he
but
landed.
You were right in a way. If Fury had carried on from that point, from the 4th round onwards, doing what he was doing, he would have won comfortably. But ultimately, his fitness wouldn't allow him to do that because Usyk is on you all the time. Usyk's fitness is second to none. So he was never going to be able to keep up what he was doing, Fury, with Usyk moving the way he did, having as much output as he does. That's why it went exactly how I thought it would go, because Fury couldn't keep up the pace. In fact, nobody can keep up the pace of Usyk. There's no man alive that can keep up the pace of Usyk, unfortunately.
Born from his mother.
Yeah, I can't believe, like after. Do you know what? That's going to have to change, innit? There's only one man born from his mother now. You're going to have to change that. Do you know what was good as well? I thought with Usyk, obviously his language is not English, so he first started saying "don't run," didn't he? That was the little soundbite that he kept saying. Then towards the end, he starts out, "I will not leave you alone." No. I thought that was think about that. That was a clever mind game to say to Fury, to keep throwing that soundbite in Fury's head. Because obviously when, he's having that joy, and you're completely right, the pair of you said it, and I can't believe I didn't acknowledge it when we done the preview about Usyk, how fast and how, what he did to AJ. The last 4 rounds in the second fight against AJ, he just was on another level. Like how he picked up that pace, his gas tank. I can't believe I didn't even acknowledge that.
Mate, that weren't a mind game.
But by saying, "I'm not going to leave you alone," did that seep into Fury's psyche?
John, that weren't a mind game. That was a fact.
Yeah, always does it. Done it to Dubois.
And that cemented it to me. When he said that in the weigh-in, looking in his eyes and the way he said it, "I won't leave you alone tomorrow." I was like, right, that's it. It's a foregone conclusion now.
Do you know what he does? Usyk, that's so clever, right? When you throw in your combinations, there's always a moment where you reset. He always finds that split second to throw a shot when the opposite fighter's resetting. He knows exactly when they're reset. It doesn't matter who it is. Even someone as unpredictable as Fury, he finds that split second to land these shots. Perfect pinpoint accuracy when the fighter's about to reset and go again. Do you know what I mean? He goes and then he goes again, but he knows when to go. And it's a bit like Bivol, like that. Yeah, he knows when to sort of unsettle the fighter and break the rhythm of what's going on. The whole rhythm of the fight is fought at Usyk's pace every time he fights. He might give a couple of rounds in the middle, but sometimes, you know what? Even those Fury rounds, I wouldn't even be surprised if he's doing that to gas the other fighter out because he just believes in his own chin and believes he knows he's just going late. Or to have a breather himself.
To have a breather himself, innit? And I tell you what, the whole way along, right, Fury talked about, keeping him at a distance. How's he going to get past my jab, blah, blah, blah. And he did keep that distance for quite a while, Fury. But what he kept saying, Fury, was everyone who's fought Usyk comes in with their head down low and they're sort of walking into him and Usyk can have a field day. Did you see what he did just before he had his moment? He walked in the same way everyone else has been walking in, like he talked about. He done 2 really soft, almost uppercuts. It was weird, really.
Fury.
He done 2 little sort of pot shots.
2 little short punches.
It was like it was nothing. But his head,
and it was
his head was right in front of Usyk, as he said he wouldn't do, and Usyk sent him all around ping-ponging all over the place.
The thing that he's doing, though, Usyk, is that he's finding that he's coming up the right side. He's doing something with his sort of jab hand. Then he's sort of all of a sudden he's coming to the body. He's level changing. Then he's moving this way. So he's saying, like Tony Bellew said, it's like Fury's there. He's like trying to calculate this arm. Oh, he's going down. I'm moving in. There's all these little twitches going. There's foot feints going. Then all of a sudden, you're exhausted dealing with it. Then all of a sudden he comes in close. Then you think, oh, I'll give him a couple of little straight punches. But then wham, wham over the top. It's like, it's just... The thing is as well, like I looked at that fight and I'm thinking to myself, do you know what? I can see ways how Fury can win a rematch. I feel like he's not done. I don't think, like, when I looked at from 3rd to 7th, there was parts of the fight where I thought, do you know what? Fury's getting his groove here. He's finding his rhythm. When he was fighting sideways on and he weren't so square on, I thought he was further away. Some of the shots that Fury were landing, they were some heavy shots. So there's an argument to be had. Is Usyk thinking, I've banked the first 3, let me just go with this and I'm going to tire him out because I know what my gas tank is like and there's no way he can live with me? Definitely that's a case that he could have been doing that. But I just think to myself, I don't know. I think with Usyk, he's always got the potential where he can come out and do what he did in the 8th and the 9th because he was big in the 8th. He busted up Fury's nose in the 8th and he hit him with he gave him a massive shiner as well. But that 8th and 9th, he done something similar to Anthony Joshua, didn't he? He had 1 round and all of a sudden he come out and had a massive round. So he's always got the potential to just up the ante and be unbelievable for a couple of rounds and throw so much volume with so much accuracy, you can hardly ever bet against him now. But if he don't get his nose busted in the 8th and then he can stay away from him, that could have been a different fight towards the end.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's so good that, like you say, he lets them have a couple of rounds in the middle so that they sort of burn themselves out. He often has a little lull for a couple of rounds, Usyk. I suppose he's trying to get himself a breather, but you never know. Like, it's hard to, maybe that's a big call, but he might just be so good that he's letting them do what they're doing to gas themselves out for later on. Yeah.
Yeah, but you say low, but the thing is that, see, I had Fury winning 3-7, but you know that 3-7, he had to work for every second of those rounds. Every
Fury.
Second. Fury, he was not taking any rest, like seeing out the round or anything. He was under pressure and working for every second of every round. That's what.
Let me ask you both.
That's why.
Who hurt him more? Who hurt him more? I thought Joshua hurt him more in that 9th round in the second fight. I think he was hurt. I think Fury got his attention with the uppercut, but I don't think he was as hurt as everyone's. I'm seeing some of the fall like, what an uppercut! How did he stay on his feet?
I don't think he was hurt.
When has Fury ever iced anyone with one shot in his whole career? Never. Not one time.
Dillian Whyte, other than that.
So I don't think it was as,
about
Dillian Whyte, obviously, we're talking about Dillian Whyte, but that was did he ice him? Did Dillian Whyte whack his head off the floor? I don't know. But did it? I just don't think. I think everyone's overplaying that shot, the one that landed in the 6th round. I thought Usyk
I don't think he was that hurt. I don't think he was that hurt in the 9th round, though. I don't think he was hurt in the 9th round against AJ.
Probably not. It's probably just eating it all up like Pac-Man.
Right, his chin's sensational. It really is, and clearly he's got more power than we all thought. I mean, he nearly put AJ on the deck. He nearly put Fury on the deck. Well, he would have put Fury on the deck. So that man's got power.
Do you know what? The worst thing about all of this is Tyson Fury knew to not box with this man because AJ tried to do that in the first fight and AJ got battered convincingly, right? Tyson Fury goes in there and does the same thing, telling you now he's waking up today going, why didn't I just lean on him? Why didn't I close the distance in the 6th round when
he couldn't?
He was a little bit hurt? Why didn't I do the things that I'm good at? Tyson Fury is going to be thinking that to himself for sure.
Usyk would have had answers for that, though.
Yeah, but we don't know now, do we? Because he didn't turn it into an ugly fight. He's a good fighter, Tyson Fury. That's what he's good at. He's good at mauling people and sticking it on people and bullying them. You can't maul someone
who's not in front of you.
No, there was a moment. There was a few moments where there was a clinch. And when I was watching it, I did feel, why are you not ragdolling him or throwing him on the floor? Or I thought there might be a few dark arts, a few more dirty things than there was.
Do you know why, John? Because he weren't confident in his gas tank. He knew that he was unfit against Ngannou. He knew, as good as he looked, probably looked as good as I've ever seen him in terms of his physical shape and his fitness. I don't know about his fitness, his cardio. Only he will know that. But I think when you're fully 100% confident of your gas tank, you do what you like in there, like Usyk does. And you can do 15 rounds, 18 rounds. Fury knows if he lent on him too much, it didn't work. You gamble. Look what happens to AJ when he does that. He loses, doesn't he? Because he hasn't got the gas tank. So, yeah.
And that's why I can't see Fury winning the rematch if it happens. Because, yes, he was great in them sort of middle rounds, but he couldn't carry it on for the duration of the fight. On top of that, what did he have? 6 months, 7 months to get in the best shape of his life, and he was a lot lighter than usual. He's just had all that time to prepare, and he still couldn't get his fitness to a place where he was able to outwork Usyk for 12 rounds.
It's a lifetime thing.
Or be bullish for 12 rounds. He just couldn't do it. So I can't see in a million years he wins a rematch unless he clocks him. But we've seen that Usyk's almost taken his best uppercut, so. Has he even got that on him? I don't know.
I don't know anyone in boxing that takes a better shot than fucking Tyson Fury. Honestly, I think that those shots land in the 9th on anyone else, I think they're out of there. It's unbelievable. But I say after that, the 9th, you look at the 10th, 11th and 12th, Usyk wins the rounds, but and to me, he clearly wins the rounds. But there's no real damage been taken. It's not like Fury's still in the fight. He's still throwing back. He's still working his way through the rounds. And you look at Usyk against Joshua, those last 3 rounds, I felt like they was more convincing against Anthony Joshua than Tyson Fury.
I suppose I might begrudgingly agree with that.
Do you know what? Should we say this? Because I'll tell you what, right? I'll say this as well. Before when I was doing the prediction last week, I was gonna say I want Usyk to win. But I wasn't sure whether I wanted him to win or not, because I think you should always support your own. English fighters going out to fight a Ukrainian fighter, Not in a million years would I want like the Ukrainian football team to beat the English football team, right? But do you know what? I've got to admit, when Usyk won, I was so happy for him. I think in terms of the sport that I love, to have that guy, European gold, World Championship gold, Olympic gold, cruiserweight, undisputed, heavyweight, like it couldn't happen to a better person. The way he talks, the way he walks, how humble he is, like the religious aspect to him and all that. What an absolutely lovely guy. And I feel like with Fury, he's been so up and down. He said so much outrageous stuff. We'll get to it. Like at the end, when he goes like, I think they gave him the decision because of the Ukraine war. You think to yourself, what? This is why you ain't the people's champ. No matter how many times Frank Warren wants to say it or any of his team want to say it, that's why. Because you come out with statements like that. And then, and then Frank Warren has come out after and he said, oh, look, don't you people know? He said it on TalkSport. He's got bipolar. Sometimes he said, so fair enough. That's a clinical whatever condition. But then in the press conference, when it's put to him by one of the press, do you regret saying that he only won because of Ukraine? You didn't retract it. You didn't say, I shouldn't have said that A, B, and C. He goes, it is what it is. The judges, whatever, see what they... It's like, there's your moment. You can't be bipolar every moment. You had your moment to retract it and you didn't retract it. So that was a bad slant. But I feel bad for Fury, though, because I feel like a lot of people are saying he got battered. A lot of people saying it was a masterclass. And I think he's got no credit because it took 2 to tango. And that's one of the best fights I've seen. And it was 115 to 112. It weren't a battering. It weren't a mauling. It weren't a masterclass, in my opinion.
But Usyk deserved it, right? Not just because he won the fight on the night, but overall he deserved it because that man has gone to everyone else's backyard over the years to win the cruiserweight, to become undisputed at cruiserweight whilst going to everyone else's backyard. He never ducked a hard fight. In fact, he's only had hard fights. Can you name any easy touches he's had? Whereas, you've got to say about Fury, he has had some easy touches, hasn't he?
Usyk, Anthony Joshua?
Yeah, Anthony Joshua, yeah. Gassiev, yeah. But he has, isn't it? That's it. Like, I mean, he's always gone, right, I'm just gonna take on this challenge. I don't care what it is, Usyk. He wanted Fury from day one. He wanted Joshua from day one, and he's never had an easy touch. He took the Dubois fight in between. You got to say, that's a hard fight, the Dubois fight. He didn't have to take that fight, but he did. Yeah, so he's just sensational. He deserved it. And Fury, yeah, he don't do himself no favours sometimes, does he? That's it. Do you know what I mean? That's ultimately it. It's a humbling because of all the stuff he said. Do you know what I mean? He even called Usyk, steroid man at one point, didn't he? He was alluding to that. So it's like, yeah, it's not good look, is it?
When you're top of the tree, you're unbeaten, you're worth all these millions of pounds, you're the top of the sport, you're the head of the sport, and then you're like still blowing smoke out your ass, and he's a gap tooth, and you're just discrediting everyone. You're a bodybuilder. It's unlikable. Do you know what I mean? When you're on the way up and you're trying to get the big fights, you sort of get it, don't you? But when you're at the top, sort of looking down, I don't know. But should we move on to John Fury?
Just the last thing on that, what you said, the last thing is he's saying all that whilst not making the fights with these people to prove it.
Yeah.
That's the biggest problem. But yeah, anyway, John Fury, yeah, let's do it. What are we saying?
Let me go then, because go. I personally think John Fury is part of the reason why he lost his fight as well. Because I think Tyson, man, he gives it all the big one, but I think he wants to be loved deep down. I think he does. I know he acts like he couldn't give a shit, but I think everyone likes to be liked. He wants to be the people's champ. But John Fury's definitely made sure that he's not with some of his antics. And obviously Tyson saying what he said afterwards, I thought was just unbelievably disrespectful. Do you know what I mean? People getting their houses blown up, kids and fucking, wives and that getting blown up, soldiers losing their life, and you say shit like that. Unbelievable. He should be fucking fined, or something should happen for that type of comment. But John Fury he just adds just all this gasoline to an already fucking lit fire, but just I don't know what the way he was in the corner. I can't believe Tyson Fury just go, listen, piss off, go away.
Yeah.
But then Tyson Fury's created all of this himself. What is he doing I don't think Andy Lee and Sugar Hill should be in there together anyway. Should be just one voice. Just have Andy Lee in there. Or Sugar Hill. But how can John Fury be standing there with the boxing career that he had, which was pretty much next to nothing, right? And try and talk over two brilliant fighting men like Andy Lee, ex-world champion, and Sugar Hill, where he's come from. How can you try and talk over them like more? Or he's going to go, it's my son. No, it doesn't matter. It's a fucking fight. You need to give him advice on the fight. You can't get all emotional at that point. And I think this is the problem with John Fury. He just needs to get rid of him out of the corner. Don't have him at the fight. Have him ringside or a few seats back where he can't cause any trouble. I'm sure John Fury, if you put a gun to his head, I don't think he's a bad person. Is he? I don't know. A lot of people call him a scumbag.
Fucking hell.
I know people call him a scumbag, but I think a lot of what he does is, again, is he bipolar? Is he bipolar, John Fury? 1 minute he's a God-fearing family man, loves everyone around him, and the next minute he's headbutting people on camera. So maybe he's a bit bipolar. I don't know.
Headbutting. He's a Ukrainian soldier. Yeah. That kid that he headbutted.
Lucky he didn't get ironed out.
Yeah. But the thing is as well, talking about they only give it to him because of the Ukraine war. But the thing is you're saying that about John Fury. His antics, in the foyer and the lead up to the fight when he's out in Saudi, walking around nutting the Usyk team for daring to chant their own fighter's name. Then he's on every interview. He's calling Tony Bellew and Carl Froch YouTubers. What have they even ever done, the YouTubers? I'll knock the pair of them out. Like, they're both world
Carl
champions.
Froch is a Hall of Famer.
And you're calling them YouTube.
He's inducted in the Hall of Fame.
It's like, in terms of the
He's
judges and the Saudis, the way on the hard road, the way that they're perceived Tyson Fury, maybe that's gone against him because of John Fury.